Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test account, and as you can see, winter has arrived, guys. That is right, it is winter in Asperia. I love how this looks every single time that winter comes. But with the patch notes that are up today, or the patch that dropped today, we do have our new Mauler hero. So we're gonna go ahead, run through her skills and abilities, see what she is about. And ultimately, guys, she looks pretty awesome. She is definitely a little beefy, but you can see it's interesting because in one picture, it almost looks like this is a different weapon from looking at her. But let's run through the skills and abilities. And the whip wielding wanderer almost kind of looks like a whip, but very, very cool looking. Now it is a intelligence hero. It is a mage, and now it is continuous damage. A lot of people were saying, and I think a little bit earlier, that this was control, but it looks like this is going to be a lot more of a damage run. Let's run through and see exactly what she says. At the start of battle, whip the gyro, and sends it bouncing between enemies. Each hit deals damage equal to 240% of the attack after landing a maximum of 5 hits, so it can hit multiple times. The gyro returns to Vika, and her following normal attack will launch the gyro to attack the enemy. And the active ability of this infuses the whip with divine power and applies Phantom Totem to the hero, creating 3 Phantom heroes that attack the enemy with the lowest health. With each, it goes to 360 from 240. I'm just kind of thinking about this. The faster the hero is spinning, the more Phantom heroes are created, up to 2 additional, and then up to 400% attack rating. That could be some damage depending on where they do the scaling. The whirling whip, when an enemy is at close range, hits them with her whip, knocks them to the edge of the battlefield. So another pushback. I can see this with Brutus. I can see it with Kren. I can see it with a few other heroes. Working well, dealing damage 300% of the attack rating, and stunning them. So there's the crowd control aspect. Target is unable to move or use skills will be knocked back, and the enemy in the path suffer damage. So if she knocks one enemy into other enemies, it is going to do additional damage. While no enemies are nearby, she gains 2 haste points every 1 second, maximum of 16. When an enemy comes close, this boost is deactivated, resets. Then, of course, the damage going up. No enemy there, 4 haste every 1 second for 32. Now we're going to have to see if she's going to be a upfront. I'm assuming she's just a caster in the back that actually throws this little Euro. So top speed, the Euro starts at a low spinning speed while increasing every time she whips it. Medium damage is increased by 40%. Magic Pierce, so she's going to be up on damage and Magical Pierce. So high damage increased by 80%, Magical Pierce by 20. Euro spinning speed drops by 1 level for every 5 seconds it spins, or every 6 times it hits enemies. This seems like it's going to be pretty crazy, and I can see going through, and I'm also thinking the collections on here to stack some more of that Magical Pierce in there. Medium damage is increased, high damage is increased. Euro will continue spinning after Vika dies, bouncing between enemies up to 10 times with 240% of the attack rating. And the final ability here, the Sacred Totem. Infuses her whip with divine totem power and grants it to the hero. If there are fewer than 2 targetable enemies on the battlefield, it applies the Rockfall Totem. Otherwise, applies the Tornado Totem. It's going to be interesting how that would work with, let's go through the totems, guys, and how it would work with bosses. So Tornado Totem launches the hero in the area with the most enemies, pulling them towards the hero, dealing damage. So it's almost like a giant saw. And the Rockfall launches the hero at the hero with the lowest health, bounces between Vika and the enemy 5 times, and each time dealing damage equal to 300% of the attack rating. The medium and high speeds, the Tornado is active or is enchanted, additionally reduces defense rating of enemies by 30%. Again, guys, bosses, this is going to be big. If we can get this Tornado, because it says if there are fewer than 2 targetable, it applies Rockfall Totem. So that is the second one, guys. At medium and high speeds, the Rockfall Totem is enchanted to ignore shields. If the enemy has no shield, damage is increased by 30%. I wonder, like the Burning Brute shield, if that's not even going to be a thing. At high speeds, the Tornado Totem is further enchanted to reduce the energy of enemies in range by 70 seconds. So big energy reduction with the E60, which of course seems like every hero we got to build the E60 on there. All right, guys, signature item is of course the whip. Gains 12 points of insight and proficiency when the hero is spinning at medium or high speed. Then it goes to 24 Every time she whips the arrow nearby, enemies will be stunned. So she is going to be able to chain a lot of stun. The Euro spinning speed only drops by 1 level every 8 times it hits enemies. Every hit, Vika's attack rating is increased by 10% for 7 seconds, for a maximum boost of 50%, guys. They're giving her a 50% attack boost in there. They're also increasing the magical pierce and the damage that she's getting here. This is going to bounce across a ton of heroes. It is going to be enchanted, which again goes through shields or reduces the defense and nullifies energy. Let's look at this furniture. If the arrow hits a stunned enemy, then any other enemy it hits within the next 6 seconds also becomes stunned. Wow. And I'm thinking with Brutus and some other heroes, at medium or high speed, each hit lands on the enemy will deal an additional strike of damage equal to 90 or 180% of the attack rating, guys. Seems like she is going to be a monster. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like in here. All right, so she stays stationary. There are the little... Oh, there it is. It's a little spinning top. She's bouncing it and whipping it. Wow. That is almost like a mobile whirlwind. I think of like Brutus with the whirlwind. That is really cool, guys. Let's hop out. Let's see what we got for the Arena Guardian. So who do we got? So we got Granite. We'll put a tank in there, and I want her in the back, and I want her as a buffer. Who do we got? Kren. Trying to think support. Let's go with Warwick. Yeah, let's see. Let's put her in the bottom because I'm thinking I want to see what she does. And again, I'm trying to put her in here as the only damage dealer. We could put Palmer in here too. There goes the top. Bounces a couple different ways. Remember, it's going to go through shields. She is chained in the back. Yeah. I'm wondering, even trying to get her out of the chains. Granite might not be the best one, but I'm thinking she's going to need some crowd control possibly. Let's see if it'll make a difference with Palmer in there. It looks like you can shut her down pretty easy, especially running the enemy having Feign. I'm trying to keep her up. Well, let's go in with some Kren. Let's go in with some different heroes in here. Even tank-wise, maybe some pushback. Maybe some shielding. Knocking the top back and forth. Let's see. Now, we did have Titus in there. Yeah, 6.36 million. That's what I figured, is they would she would stack her damage down. Let's put her in here. Throw her in here with some damage dealers. Just thinking like an actual setup. Got Kren in there. See, we don't want Drez. Warwick's probably going to die way too quick. Bounces between a couple different enemies there. And it kind of sucks they put Feign in here. She just keeps knocking the top essentially back and forth. All of those went right there to Gwen, though, for her ultimate ability. So we're going to have to see, guys. Pretty cool overall. I like the build. I like the thought behind it, especially. And I'm thinking with that top and everything else, guys, if you're if you're stacking up enemies, this might make a big difference. So running possibly with Skriath to put everyone together, not pulling them in like the 5 pull, but with Brutus in there, Anasta in there, with Vika in there, with possibly a couple other heroes for some crowd control. Going to be interesting to see exactly where she works. All right, guys. So that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.